Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about a potential trade for the Houston Rockets. We're going to be talking about a trade that would land the Houston Rockets, a former player. This whole offseason, it's not even the full offseason yet. The NBA Finals haven't even started yet. Game 1 is tomorrow, the NBA Finals, and still a lot of rumors and potential trades and potential signings are still being talked about, even though the NBA Finals are just getting underway. But it seems like for the Rockets, one of the biggest things that's been, going on for them is old players that used to play for the Rockets have been kind of, been maybe wanting to come back to the Houston Rockets. We've seen James Harden's desires to come back to the Rockets, and the Rockets wanting him back, and the Rockets and James Harden wanting to sign back here, and most likely James Harden will sign with Houston Rockets as free agency. We've seen guys like Austin Rivers and Patrick Beverley, both two veteran guards. Beverley said on his podcast that there is a very highly chance that he could potentially reunite with the Rockets and James Harden, and he was, Houston was one of his top choices after getting bought out by the Orlando Magic, but the Houston Rockets told him he would not be getting minutes on their roster because of their young guys, and he went on to play with the Chicago Bulls. But now that they're heading in the direction that, that they're heading in the direction of, okay, we're kind of going into this, we're still a little bit in rebuild mode, but we're now adding in veterans to play with the young guys and try to maybe come in as a play-in team next season. And so Austin Rivers and Patrick Beverley are two guys who've expressed that their interest to return to Houston. Austin Rivers was asked about it on a Q&A on Twitter. He was asked if he could see himself coming back to the Houston Rockets. He said, why not? He said he likes Jalen Green, he likes Ime Udoka, and he thinks Ime Udoka is great for Jalen Green's development. And then the last one was that the Houston Rockets could be interested in trading for Chris Paul if James Harden does not sign, which I don't think that trade's going to happen, but that's another player that has formerly played for the Houston Rockets that has came up in rumors. But we're not talking about James Harden. We're not talking about Austin Rivers or Pat Bev or CP3 in this video. We're going to be talking about a player that kind of started to... He was on the Rockets when this started. Was a part of that Victor Oladipo trade that got Victor Oladipo to the Miami Heat. And we're talking about Kelly Olynyk of the Utah Jazz. Kelly Olynyk was the starting center for the Utah Jazz last season, played 68 games, and started in all 68 of them, averaged 12.5 points per game, and averaged, I think, 7 rebounds per game, shot 37% from three, and did miss 14 games, but played really well in those 68 games played. He joined the Rockets at the trade deadline in the 2020-21 season, was traded for Victor Oladipo. The Rockets received Kelly Olynyk. Who did they receive? Kelly Olynyk, one other player from Miami. I can't remember who else they received. Kelly Olynyk, someone else, and then we got a first-round pick with Kelly Olynyk and the other player. I can't remember who else we got from them. Kelly Olynyk was a free agent that next summer. He did amazing with the Houston Rockets that year, that second half of the season when the Rockets traded for him. Averaged 19 points per game and 8 rebounds per game when the Rockets traded for him. Was excellent. Rockets tried to re-sign him, but the first day of free agency, the next offseason, the first day of free agency, Kelly Olynyk signed a really nice deal with the Detroit Pistons that would end up making him a Piston, and he did really solid with the Pistons, came off the bench most of the season. Then they traded him to the Jazz, and that's when he had a really solid year last year with the Utah Jazz. But now that the Utah Jazz might be looking to trade some of their veterans that are definitely players that, expiring contracts like Kelly Olynyk, who's a free agent next summer, and He's a guy who I could see him returning to Utah in free agency next summer, but he could be worth a first round pick possibly, and I really could see, really could see Utah trying to move Kelly Olynyk this summer. And I think the Rockets are a team that could definitely be interested in Kelly Olynyk. And I saw an article about it on NBA analyst or NBA Analyst Network, I think was the article I saw. It was a trade proposal to land Kelly Olynyk to the Houston Rockets. So it's a trade that would involve two players and two picks, two former teammates with each other, because Jae'Sean Tate played with Kelly Olynyk. The Utah Jazz would receive Jae'Sean Tate and the 20th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft, which is the first round pick we got for Eric Gordon, that landed as the 20th overall pick. The Rockets flipped from pick 20. I think we ended up going from, we could have, if we would have not done the Eric Gordon trade, we would have ended up having the pick 30 from the Milwaukee Bucks. But we did a trade, a pick swap with the LA Clippers, and now we have pick 20 instead of pick 30. So pick 20 and Jae'Sean Tate would head to the Utah Jazz, and then Kelly Olynyk and a 2026 second rounder that belongs to the Memphis Grizzlies would go to the Houston Rockets. So the Rockets get Kelly Olynyk and a second round pick in 2026, and the Rockets give up Jae'Sean Tate and the 20th overall pick. I think this is a really solid trade for the Houston Rockets. It definitely is a great trade. The Rockets are going to be looking to improve next season, and I think one of the things the Rockets have kind of said they're, have interested in is getting an upgrade at the backup center position, and that is one thing you're doing right here is you're upgrading the backup center. You're upgrading the center position with getting Kelly Olynyk in this trade. They've also said they've would possibly be interested in trading the 20th overall pick for a veteran, and that is something you're doing here. Getting rid of Jae'Sean Tate's contract, I don't really do not see a fit for him with some of the things the Rockets are doing next season. I think the Rockets are going to be very interested in signing Cam Johnson of the Brooklyn Nets. And if they sign Cam Johnson and they sign James Harden, the lineup looks like James Harden, Jalen Green, Cam Johnson, Jabari Smith Jr., and at center, Alperen Sengun. And with the lineup like that, you'd have Tari Eason off the bench with maybe, Amen Thompson. I really don't see a world where Jae'Sean Tate's getting a lot of minutes next season for the Houston Rockets. And I really do think that Jae'Sean Tate's also KJ would possibly be staying. So KJ and Tari Eason are going to be getting the minutes for the Rockets at the forward position. So I don't see Jae'Sean Tate getting a lot of minutes next season. He also had a lot of injuries last season. He's a really solid player. He's a really solid defender. But I think Jae'Sean Tate, the 20th overall pick, would most likely be enough for Kelly Olynyk. Utah wants young players, good defensive players. I think he adds some good depth to that Utah team. I don't think he would be a starter, most likely come off the bench as the 6th or 7th man, but would be a really solid addition to that Utah roster. They also get another first-round pick. They're going to want to add in a lot of talent in the first round. They already have some good first-round picks. They got a lottery pick. I believe they have pick 9. They have some other first-round picks. They have Minnesota's first-round pick. They might have one more first-round pick, but I'm not sure. Oh, I think they have – do they have Cleveland? No, they don't have Cleveland's first-round pick because the Pacers have Cleveland's first-round pick this year. But still, they have a lot of picks. They have a lot of, players that they might want to trade this summer. And I think this would be a solid trade for the Rockets. I don't know if it happens, but I do know the Rockets are looking to upgrade at the backup center this offseason, whether it's in the free agency, the draft, or the trade market. And they're also potentially looking to move the 20th overall pick for a veteran. So in that case, put 2 and 2 together, and the Rockets would possibly be interested in reuniting with backup center Kelly Olynyk. He's tall. He's like 6. I think he's 6'10", and he's an amazing shooter for a center, shooting 37%. He's really been around that 35 to 39% from 3 around his whole career. And I think it'd be a really decent trade for the Houston Rockets. Also get a second-round pick back with Kelly Olynyk. He'd contribute a lot for the Houston Rockets and would be a really good backup center for the Houston Rockets next season. You guys have your thoughts. That's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed them, your thoughts, and peace out.